Hey yo guys, what's up and welcome back to Toe Tags Metal Reviews, and today we're getting our first impressions of the brand new album from Kataklysm titled Unconquered. Alright, Kataklysm's back, some good old Canadian metal. So, Kataklysm, this is a band, for me, that's been pretty good. I got into this band back when they released Prevail, which I think was 2008, and you know, Taking the World by Storm was the big hit back then. I loved that song, got into it, but that's the only album that really kind of stood out to me, and I thought that album was pretty good. But they kind of fell off the map and this and that, and now we're having an opportunity to review them, so here it is. We did a poll, they beat The Ocean. We reacted to two videos from this album, Kill Shot and
Underneath the Scars.
Underneath the Scars, yes. The Kill Shot was okay.
Yeah, and
Underneath the Scars was good.
Super solid song.
We love that song. But again, we only heard them like once. So yeah, I don't know, do you want to share anything before we get into this?
I mean, I've never really checked this band out before. Like, I know you've checked them out a little bit, gotten into their stuff.
I've showed you a few songs here and there.
Yeah,
I know that.
Not much. Like, I haven't really, you know,
listened to an album
or really discovered their discography a lot. So this is a pretty fresh experience for me and this band. So with that being said, let's check it out.
All right, well, that was pretty awesome. I gotta say that I thoroughly enjoyed this album on a first impression. I feel like this is a perfect example of a band that can just play really good, solid, consistent metal, and it's just, that's what it is, and that's what, you know, can get you going and get your head banging. I think every song on this album had, you know, positive things to say about it, but there's a few standout tracks, of course. So I'll talk about some of those standout tracks. The Kill Shot, which was the first single, actually sounded a lot better than I remember it. It's the first track, and when it came on, I was like, this is like really good. I don't remember liking it this much, which is a good thing. Now, when we first listened to it, we're watching the video. Sometimes just watching the video could detract from the sound you're hearing. We've talked about this before. So I think the fact that I was able to just focus on the music alone really helped me enjoy the song. It became one of my highest rated songs on the album, but not the highest rated. I'll get to that in a moment. Other tracks that stood out to me were The Way Back Home, which is track number 5. I slightly slowed down, but they dropped the tempo a little bit, you know, compared to the other songs. Had some ghost notes in there. There was a really nice marriage between the lead and the rhythm guitars. A lot of really cool, creative things going on. I like that. Icarus Falling was another song that I liked. That was another slower song, had the piano behind it. This piano kept coming in and out, kind of carrying the melody along, while the double bass and the drum beats were kind of, you know, powering this rhythm forward in the song. Really like the dynamics that these guys bring.
That's the only song with the piano as well. Like,
that is the only one with the piano, yeah, so that was actually a unique touch. But before I hand the floor over to TV Fish, I just want to tell you guys my number one song, and that was Underneath the Scars, which was the second single we did react to. This song is just fucking awesome. How else do I put it? The rhythmic patterns of this song and the riffing are just really, really cool, but the chorus hits nice. The ending though, the ending is just fucking badass. Like, it's basically a breakdown for the last minute or so, and it's just fucking disgusting. Like, it's just nasty. I love it.
Yeah.
Highest rated song.
That song is awesome, and it was also my highest rated song. I feel like that's, like, if there's anything you want in metal, this song's got it.
Yeah.
Like, name anything that you like in metal. Literally, like, anything, pretty much.
No, don't name anything, because this album lacked guitar solos, which is one of my
my
downfalls.
In regards to guitar solos, there was one in the next track, which was my second highest rated track, Focus to Destroy You. There was a solo, and it was good, but it was too short. It was really, like, it was there, and it's like, whoa, wow, we got something going, and then it was done, and it's like, oh.
I'm gonna be honest right now, I didn't even notice it.
That's how short it was.
I'm gonna have to listen to it again.
That's how short it was. It was barely there, but it was there, and it was cool. That song is just insane. Like, it's so destructive. I don't feel it's as versatile as the last track, but, you know, Underneath the Scars, like, it just has so much to it. Like, if you want something, you got it. This album, overall, was way better than I was expecting. I was expecting something pretty good, because from what I recall, Killshot was alright, and Underneath the Scars was pretty sick. I feel the same way about Killshot. I don't remember it being that cool. Like, we felt the same way, like, what? This is sick. I don't remember this being sick. So, there's that too. The only song on this album that I didn't really feel much towards was track number 7, Defiant, only because there wasn't really as much that stood out from that as there was every other song. Every other song kind of had a lot more to it. This one felt like a big wall of heaviness, which isn't necessarily a bad thing.
Not bad.
But I feel like the first half of the album overshadowed the second half a little bit.
I think Defiant is a good example of a song that is just good metal. Right? There's nothing bad about it, but there's nothing really that stands out. The drummer sounds like a machine.
This guy is amazing.
Sounds like a machine.
Love his double kick talent.
Yeah.
It's so clean, especially like at the end of Underneath the Scars. Or just, he's so good.
Yeah.
It's just such
And
a
the
clean
rolls
thing.
he was doing. He does a lot of really cool drum patterns and beats and
A lot of
ghost notes and
A lot of good fills too. A
Yeah.
lot of really tasteful fills that had a lot to them.
cymbal mutes, all kinds of interesting stuff he throws in. throughout the
Yeah,
album.
in the way back home, there were some cool cymbal chokes during the breakdown that you don't hear as often as you think you would.
Yeah, but when he throws them in there, you're like, oh, there you go. There's something
Like
fresh.
you'd think in a lot more breakdowns, maybe you'd hear a lot of choking in the cymbals or whatever, but you really don't hear it that often. So it's cool that they had it here.
What did you think of the last song, When It's Over?
When It's Over, well, that song was pretty cool because one part of it is that there's a different scream. Now, we've ragged on a lot of vocalists for having kind of one sound throughout the whole album.
Too consistent, yeah.
This is really consistent. Like, the vocals in this album are very consistent, but it's a consistent good.
Yeah.
I never felt that it's like, oh, it's just the same vocal over and over. Like, even though it's kind of true, it was pretty similar for the majority of the album.
Yeah.
There was some playing of stuff, some background stuff, but overall it was a similar scream. But it was a good one that I enjoyed. So I didn't get that tired of it. But in When It's Over, there is a different kind of scream, so that, was fresh to hear. Like, oh wow, here's something different. There was a cool drum groove where he's playing quickly on the cymbals and he has a syncopated kick with the guitars. That was cool. And partway through, there were some cool shots happening as well that I liked. Like, overall, it's a pretty cool song.
Yeah, I think perhaps, and obviously we only listened to this one time, so maybe I'll have to double back to confirm this opinion. But perhaps the reason why the vocals didn't start to feel stale is because his phrasing was different enough, right? Because you can have the same kind of vocal tone and vocal style throughout all the songs, but if your phrasing is different, it helps break up the pace and make it not sound so monotonous throughout the album. So I think that's
true.
probably something that attributed to it not sounding stale, because you're right, it is pretty one-dimensional as far as vocals go, aside from the few odd things here and there, very odd, very few. But When It's Over, I thought was a cool closer track. It actually gets pretty doomy in the middle of the song, like really low tuned, not quite sludgy, but quite doomy. Which I thought was also unique for the album. I thought that was cool for an ending track. It feels like something's coming to an end. Doom. The word doom comes to mind.
Yes. Yeah, that makes sense.
So I felt like it was fitting that they kind of went with that sound for the end of the album. So I thought that was cool.
Yeah, overall, man, this album was pretty damn strong. And I feel like, although the first half kind of overshadowed the second half a little bit, I feel like that's gonna kind of, level out as we listen to it over the week. Because I find with some albums, if you're really hot out of the gate, you set the bar really, really high, and if everything else doesn't really meet that bar immediately, it doesn't feel as good. So
Exactly.
when we listen to it over the course of the week, I guarantee that there's probably gonna be tracks in the second half that can reach the similar bar that some of the tracks in the first half gave. Because remember, the two best tracks for both of us were both within the first half.
That's very true. And you know what? I feel like this album's very strong. And really my only big gripe, and this is not a fair gripe, I'm going to admit that, is that I felt like there was wasted opportunities for guitar solos. And I mean, this isn't really the type of band that does a lot of guitar solos, but yet you take a song like, specifically, Cut Me Down. I'll give an example. Cut Me Down, about, the midway bridge-ish part. It's a pure golden opportunity for a friggin' wailing guitar solo. And I mean, if it's not the kind of thing you want to do, that's fine. But if you want a song to go from being a 7 or being a 9, you gotta, you know, throw a little bit of more ingredients in the pot. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think there's missed opportunities. Is all I'm saying.
I can agree to a degree. You know,
Yeah.
I feel like there could have been some cool opportunities for guitar solos there, especially in what was it? Yeah, Focus to Destroy You. Like, it was there for a split second and then it was gone, and it could have really just boosted that song even more if it really went through with that even more.
Yeah, so throughout the week when we listen to the album, that's gonna be one thing I guess, think about whether or not that bugs me still, or if I just kind of forget about it and go, I don't care if there's guitar solos anymore because it just sounds fucking sick. I don't know. But that's it for this first impressions, I think. We both had pretty favorable impressions so far. We're gonna listen to this album as much as we can throughout the entire week. We're gonna put it through the ringer, see if it stands up, and see if our opinions grow or if they diminish. Who knows what's gonna happen, but we'll be back next week with our full and final review of Unconquered. That's it for this video. Like it if you liked it, subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. I'm Vile Self.
I'm TV Fish.
See you guys in the next one. Keep those heads banging.